In this video, we're going to be going over design Yelp, and we're going to be using this based off my 7 years of experience and also reading like this designing data intensive applications V2, and also using like this book here, System Design Interview, which I also read. So we're going to try to combine like both of these knowledge and then also my own personal notes. And we're going to try to take this look at this, and hopefully you're going to learn at the end of this video how to structure like a system design interview, or just learn more about like how databases work. So let's get into it. Designing like Google reviews, like slash Yelp, it's all the same thing really, where you're gonna have like some kind of page here and people can leave like their stars and their reviews. And like if you look here, wow, leave us a review, 5 stars. People can leave their reviews and it pops up on the page so other people can see it, right? Like this is like at the core. Now, one thing I don't like with the system design stuff and system design interviews is that every time it's always so vague, and it feels like you're just like I feel like it's so easy to get trapped. And in software engineering, I feel like the theory behind it is that like, oh, well, you should never assume anything. But really it just means that everything's vague and you have to clarify everything. And so if I were like actually designing this as a system, like if there was like a client who reached out to me and they were like, I want to build this, or if this was actually like a company, like internal thing that popped up, I would be thinking things like this, like, can users leave the store? Can users leave reviews on a store? Can the restaurant like sign up and post their business info, right? Like that's probably what's going to happen. Can users can give stars on it, right? 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. They can log in, they can make accounts. We also probably need like spam, just interview, spam review protection, because like people will get really angry and they will just do crazy stuff. They will attack your business. They will post. Right? I can imagine this happening like a ton, and you want to verify if something's real or not. You probably want analytics, notifications, right? Like basically Yelp is so complicated, and the idea of like designing Yelp in 30 minutes just is crazy to me. But you know, we're gonna crank out all of this and get it into like reasonable. But I did want to mention that like system design interviews feel ridiculous to an extent, because it's like super speed level as opposed to like actually hitting depth. And actually understanding something. And I can promise you, there's no way I'm going to spend 2 hours on this video, like just talking about all of the things that you could build here. But the whole goal here is that like, once you understand how you can leave reviews on a store, restaurants can sign up and post their business info, users can search, right? Like we can start building blocks up. That's the nice thing about system design interview prep stuff, is that like you actually understand, you can just start building up. So those are my thoughts on that. Well, and I think I have to tag here. So when it comes to like actually jotting these down, I think it's obvious when you look at Yelp, but it also is obvious the more you practice, the more you get better at this stuff. And also like, honestly, being full-time at Walmart helps me see all the microservices stuff. Like I inherently understand that each of these things are going to have a million requirements that come through, and that you're going to need enough engineers to do it. Like the analytics team is probably saying like, we need to have AI analytics, and they have all these requirements. And then there's going to be like the review team, and there's going to be a spam protection team, and there's going to be just so many teams of like 10 engineers, and they're all like focused on, we need a team that can allow users to give stars. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit. I'm sure you guys actually want to get into it, but like, I just find this stuff interesting, and I need to dilute this video because I don't want to get taken over for maybe copying information from places. I don't know. Have my own personality a little bit in here. So let's get into it. So we're going to focus on these. And so we're going to design Yelp, Google reviews. We're going to focus on this part here, which is that they can leave reviews. Restaurants can sign up. We're going to make it scalable. We want to have like not slow. We want to have like 50 million users. Very good to note too that this is a read heavy application. More people are going to be reading reviews than are going to be writing reviews. I would probably say maybe only 1% of people actually want to write a review, whereas you know the vast majority want to read. I would say most businesses do not receive reviews. So the first thing I think for system design interviews is 1, the requirement section, which we've already done. But then 2 is like, let's talk about what are all the things that are going to be talking to each other in this. So first, I think we're going to have a user. We're going to have a user. We're going to have a business. We're going to have a review. The user is going to be looking at the business, right? And the user is going to be looking at the reviews. and the user is going to be writing the reviews, right? So we have like, and it's good to have these relationships. I'm realizing it's very, very useful because once you know the relationships, you know the API routes, you know how to design everything, you know how to make sure everything's going to flow in order to make sure these requirements are right. But a review is also going to be under a business. Like a business can have multiple reviews. And understanding these relationships can really, really help. Like what is doing what to what can have like this other, what is containing these other ones. APIs, right? So when I do the APIs, I like to think about, I think I like to think about like what things do we need to do within this application, right? So one, we need to get the business. Okay. We need to search for the business, right? We already mentioned that up here. We need to be able to post like the review. So we're going to be posting like reviews, and then we also need to get the reviews. And I believe like this is mostly like it. But I think this is everything, right? That's it, which is actually kind of nice. And then we can programmatically plop it in the program, the program way, whatever, which is like get slash, and then you put in the business ID, business ID to get the business info. We would also probably have all the businesses here too. So it would be something very similar to this for reviews, but then we would do it for all the businesses when they go to the main, homepage. And then we can post the business ID, and then we can post the review. I think this post may be wrong here though. Actually, I think we probably want to post review. Actually, I guess post reviews is fine because it's a post, it's not a GET request. So that's fine. Great. Then we can go into the design. So let's talk about this. So we'll have the user, which is going to go into the search service. So when they want to search, like let's say, okay, user wants to go and they want to search something for about the business. So they want to say, oh, well, I want to go see Taco Tuesdays, right? So they go Taco Tuesday. We're going to go to the search service. That's going to route them over properly. Hit the DB, query it for based off some kind of index, whatever, depending on however we want to, which database we want to use. We can use SQL here. I think is fine, and then we can extract the info, send it back to the user, pop it back. I've also hidden this as an optimization onto this, and so I'm curious, what do you guys think is under this little box here? But yeah, let me actually, and maybe I should hide my camera because I think my thing might be too big. Or no, it's fine. We'll get through it. Next thing is the user can drop a review, so they can pass it here. User sends a review. We just pop the review into the database. So we'll have like another one, table here like review, and that's going to have like a business that it's ID that's attached to, and then it can have a user ID, and then I can have the content of the review. And the reason I think SQL is better here is because one, I think it has to do with the joins. I think actually it doesn't matter. I mean, I feel like it does just because of the reviews. Like the fact that a business can have several reviews means that like people might want to update the review and things like that. And so if we were to do NoSQL, that means we have to modify it, which is fine. But like I think it's a little bit slower. We are read heavy, so maybe it lends itself to NoSQL, but the queries aren't that bad, I feel like. I don't think it really matters though, which one you pick, but I think being able to defend it, whichever decision you do, is the big kind of idea. So I would say that like we're wanting to do updates. We want to be able to, index for the searching, and we probably might have some complex joins that are happening. Like what's this person's specific review? I think that's probably like the biggest argument I would say for doing SQL is that like, what is John's review of business, or what is, review 267 in the business? Like it just helps a lot, and reviews can get pretty big too. So I don't know. That's my thought. So there's some optimizations. One is, I think we would most certainly have like CDNs in this application. So for the content, so I don't actually have a content delivery kind of service here, but for the page, I think we want like a CDN in order to distribute like the HTML content. And I think that that's probably like relevant for the actual things, which is that they can view business info. And if you don't know what a CDN is, we can talk about that, and you can actually learn today what a CDN is very, very briefly, because I'm not going to go super much into detail on it. But a CDN allows us to distribute content, static information to several different types of people that are located across the world. So instead of like, we can set up a Cloudflare hub. So instead of us having like one content that's right here, and then we're saying like, okay, this is in Florida, and we're just going to send it all the way over to California. We're going to send all the way to here, to Canada, We're going to send our business information all the way to all these people. All these are going to request it from different geographical locations. What we can do is we can actually create centers where that we're next to. So instead we can go here, we can have one here, we can have one here, we can have one here. So when someone requests, instead of traveling their internet and having like 1,000 ping latency because of the distance, they can actually just get much faster. They can get it much faster because we have these content delivery networks. I think that's what CDN stands for. And so we can host our pages there. When they hit it, they'll go and pull it from the CDN as opposed to hitting our central located server, right? And this speeds things up. It gives us some caching optimization. I think Cloudflare also has like protections and things like that, but very, very good. I think it is worth mentioning as an optimization. Again, interviewers might not care about it, but for this particular problem, but yeah. Second optimization is the standard stuff. So this is a system design problem. We do mention scalability, which we didn't talk about, but we can actually just duplicate these for scaling. So we just make tons of services like in a cluster using Kubernetes, whatever, and we can scale up, scale down as needed. Of course, these are microservices, so we'll have like a load balancer, and so each team is going to be coordinating onto these and managing requests. And we can also cache results. So if something is searched very, very often, we can cache that and return to the user instead of doing a full query every single time. And replication, I have full videos out on these topics, but it's the idea that like as we get tons and tons of reads, tons and tons of reviews, let's say we get 1,000 reviews every single second, let's say we get 1,000 reads every single second, that's going to overload the database. And so what we can do is we can have one database that we write to and then several read copies of the database, leader, follower, things like that. If we want to handle 1,000 writes per second, well, we can partition the database or shard the database. And that can allow us to have several databases, and we have like the copies of them. So A can be one, so everything that's an A can be here, everything that's a B is here. Again, very rudimentary explanation, but I just want to understand this because I want to convey this very at a very high level, because this is what allows us to scale and requires setup configuration. Like A is actually like a terrible choice here, because what if you have businesses that are all A? Well, then it's bad, right? Like we don't want to have, because then it defeats the purpose. If all the businesses are called A or there's a skew, then we nuke our efficiency. So we can hash it as a partition and things like that. Okay, third thing, how do we improve search? How do we make sure search is good? And then for that, we can actually just use Elasticsearch. So this is like another server that kind of runs like a database, and you can query it. So the user can actually query it instead of querying the database when they use search. And that works. And so what will happen is whenever reviews get made, we'll go through here, and then it will also update these. And so this is very, very famous, popular thing is called a change data capture. And the idea behind this is that once something's written to the database, there's like a trigger that fires, there's a copy that gets fired, and it fills in this other database, other server, and it notifies it. So these two are in sync, and we can handle that. And because they're in sync, we can query it, and Elasticsearch allows us to do really cool types of queries. We can query on multiple indices and multiple indexes and things like that. So hopefully this makes sense for a system design interview. Again, mostly it would be longer. I did not want to type out all this stuff out, so it helped me shorten up the time here, which is good, I think. And but in an interview, you would have to type it out. I think this is like a core solution. I think it would be a good solution if you did it, and then the interviewer would just like ask you tons of questions onto the stuff. And I'm sure that I could always dive deeper here too. Like I could have explained caching better, more in depth. Replication, partitioning, I could explain the trade-offs of them, the downsides, the difficulties, the challenges of like how do you have 3 databases that are going to be having writes, and make sure all of them can write to this one Elasticsearch, right? Like, that's a question that I would have. But grading scale on this, I feel like for the system design interviews, they're only really done for mid-level and senior. So if you're a new grad, I think you kind of wasted your time watching this if you're looking for that kind of position. But like, can you make a high-level design that just answers all the functional, non-functional questions? And then I think for that, like, the answer is yes, it's scalable, search should be fast, it's read heavy. The answer would be yes. And then can you handle optimizations? And so this one's, I think, more subjective, but like basically there's going to be several types of optimizations we can make here. And it's, can you optimize your thing? So that'll put you in this bucket for senior, which is very, very much in demand right now. And I think that should be the target. So, cool, cool, cool. Hope that you guys enjoyed another little system design interview. I would like to have gone deep into Elasticsearch. I don't know if do I even have this thing here? I mentioned why you should use it. You can actually search businesses by rating and location. Anyways, cool. That's, I believe that is it. We talked about the senior, and if you want to do more kind of content like this, I have a community inside of my school where you can like message me, and also there's other software engineers studying. So feel free to join if you want more videos like this that aren't posted on YouTube. See ya.